Hi, I'm Eric Kelly from KellyPlanet.com. This is a closer look at Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 12, The High Ground. This is another one of those problematic episodes, and looking back, one would wonder what they were thinking. Let's get to it.
The Enterprise has put in at Rutia 4 to deliver medical supplies following an outbreak of violent protests. Now, a generation of peace has ended with terrorist attacks by Ansata separatists.
This captain's log was so wordy that I had to cut a whole lot of it, which is rare. So there's a terrorist threat, and shore leave has been canceled, and all the away teams are armed. This is starting well. I bet Roddenberry loved this. Data tells Worf and the Doc that they have to go to a meeting, and holy crap, a bomb goes off. Beverly rushes to help, and Worf's like, this isn't a good idea, we should get out of here. And he's right. But she outranks him and orders Worf to go get Band-Aids and stuff.
Captain, there has been an incident.
A bomb has been detonated by Ansata terrorists.
Transporter Room 3, log on to the away team, prepare to beam them back.
Yes, Captain.
Data's like, great idea, and we've thought of that, but the Doc keeps pulling rank and is putting all of us in danger. Picard tries to talk to her, but she is super stubborn and says, I'm staying, Data and Worf can go, and then, hangs up on him. So the local cops show up, and the terrorist guy pops in out of nowhere, shoots the cop, and kidnaps the Doc. That's not good.
People don't just appear and disappear. There must be some way to track her.
We've been unable to detect a signal from her communicator.
Why would they want to take a Federation hostage? Their fight doesn't involve us.
It does now.
Now we're in a cave or something, and terrorist guy number 2 offers Beverly some food, but she won't eat or talk to him. So he's like, oh, that's fine with me. He's actually being quite friendly, but she still won't talk. Now we know his name is Carol Finn, and he says to her, if you need anything, ask for me. Fair enough. Picard and Riker are asking local cop lady, her name is Alexandra Davos, why the terrorists would want Doc Crusher. She's like, I don't know, they're animals that kill innocent people all the time. So what about their magic teleporter thing? She's like, I don't know again, but we have found these thingies on some dead terrorists, and lets them take one back to the Enterprise to check it out.
I would like to leave Commander Riker here to assist in your search for Dr. Crusher.
If you like.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I know my enemy, Commander. They don't leave much room for optimism.
Back to the cave, and Beverly is still ignoring Finn's offers for food. So he removes her restraints and is like, come on, you gotta eat. And then she's like, yeah, okay, fine. Turns out Finn needs a doctor and kidnapped her because she is the best. He asks her why the Federation has allied with its enemies. Oh yeah, the local cop people are called Rutians. And she says, we just delivered medical supplies because people were hurt.
I know. I hurt them.
I have a son.
You'll be with him again, Doctor. I see no reason to kill you.
Riker's with local cop lady Alexandra. I don't think they actually say her name in this show. And she has lists. Riker asks if all these people are terrorists, and she's like, well, no, we think there are only about 200 of them. But these people are sympathizers. 5,000 of them. SS much? Riker asks how this mess ever got started.
70 years ago, we denied them independence. That gave them a noble cause. Now it's just an excuse for more violence.
She says that she used to be kind of moderate, but now she's decidedly not. Mostly because she witnessed a terrorist bomb blow up a school bus with 60 kids.
The Ansata claimed that it was a mistake. That their intended target was a police transport. As if that made everything all right.
The Doc tells Finn that she cannot help these people. Their DNA is messed up for some reason, and it's irreversible. Finn's like, oh yeah, that's our teleporter thing. It's killing us. But we need it to further our cause. Bev's like, okay, what does your teleporter thing do?
We transport through a dimensional shift that the routine sensors can't trace.
You can't do that with humanoid tissue.
There are risks the designers told us, but it works.
Turns out Finn's DNA is not doing so good either, and he says, well, don't you know, a dead martyr's worth 10 posturing leaders. They're laying this stuff on pretty thick. Now we're in engineering, and the guys have figured out the teleporter thing, and now know it's fatal too. Picard shows up, and Geordi tells him that they can trace the teleporter, and Data adds that it's harmful and stuff. Picard's like, seems like they may need a doctor.
This is no way to live.
For us or them?
For both of you.
I know it's not pretty, Riker, but this is what terrorism has done to this city.
There's got to be a better way to deal with it than this.
Riker says to her, you mean to tell me that little boy is a threat? She says, you know that school bus I told you about? Well, a kid set that bomb. When children kill children, everyone's a threat. Super thick. We're in the cave again, and Beverly does not approve of all this violence and says that her culture has proven that such things are not necessary. Finn says, well, I'm no different than George Washington. Okay. Beverly's like, no way, and Finn says, yes way. The difference between a general and a terrorist is who ends up the winner.
How much innocent blood has been spilled for the cause of freedom in the history of your Federation, Doctor? How many good and noble societies have bombed civilians in war? You frown on my immorality?
The local cops are interrogating some guy that witnessed the bombing, but he won't talk. Riker's like, that's it. Dude, go tell your boss that the Federation will negotiate. We want Crusher back. End of story. And the dude leaves. Local cop lady's like, yeah, fine, we'll try it your way. And Riker's like, okay, well, what do you want?
What I want is to go home. To leave behind the roundups, the interrogations, the bodies lying in the street, and not to have to jump at every unexpected noise. That's what I want, Riker.
We're coming up on the part that the BBC had a huge problem with, and I'll talk more about that later. Data is telling Picard that while terrorism seems unnecessary, there are many historical accounts of it being very effective. And then he lists some. Let's hear it.
The independence of the Mexican state from Spain. The Irish unification of 2024.
Yes, I'm aware of them.
Then would it be accurate to say that terrorism is acceptable when all options for peaceful settlement have been foreclosed?
Holy crap, it's 2024 right now. Picard tells Data that mankind has been struggling with his questions for centuries. His confusion is only human. Finn tells Beverly that the Federation has organized mass arrests to force her release, which is a bunch of crap. She's like, please, I have a son. He's on the ship. Finn's like, well, that's too bad for him because we're going to blow up the Federation flagship so our voice can be heard. I had a son too, and he was 13 when he died in detention, so there. Uh-oh, a terrorist lady teleports onto the ship and starts shooting people.
Intruder alert, deck 12.
Another subspace reflection, dimensional shift, sir.
Go to red alert. Sound general quarters.
They are moving interdimensionally. Neither transporters nor force fields will contain them, sir.
Looks like they're setting bombs on the warp core, and then they flash out of there. They can't get the bomb off the ship, and Picard says to prepare for emergency saucer separation. They know they can dump the whole warp core in like a few seconds, right? Doesn't matter. Geordi cuts the thing off and slaps his comm badge on it so they can get a transporter lock, and it blows up outside the ship. Uh-oh, some terrorists flash onto the bridge, and Worf does nothing. But Picard is awesome and takes one of them out. Oh, Worf gets shot, but he'll be okay. Oh no, they flashed out of there with Picard. Picard tells Finn that this is a big mistake and the Federation will respond in full force. Finn's like, great, that's what I want.
Now I'm fighting a big war against a more powerful adversary. Can't you see how that helps me?
He's added another chair to the negotiating table.
And I am simply forcing you to sit in it.
Then Finn teleports up to the Enterprise and scares the crap out of Troy. He's like, I'm not here to hurt you. We demand that the Federation embargo and blockade the planet until negotiations can be made. You have 12 hours, and he pieces out. Of course, the crew isn't going to take this lying down, so Worf, see, he's okay, leads a team of local cops to infiltrate the terrorist caves. Oh, look, Riker's there too, but we go right to Picard and Beverly.
But I don't want you to start thinking about...
Beverly, it is our obligation to think of escape.
He's prepared to kill you.
An excellent reason to escape. Do you think you've gained his confidence?
Oh, look, Finn drew some pictures of Gates McFadden. So Picard's like, indeed you have. He's into you. We could probably use that. Uh-oh, Riker and Worf turned out the lights and beat up some guys. Finn's about to shoot Picard, who is super manly about it, but local cop lady shoots him instead. He's dead, and Picard and Beverly are saved. Riker's like, geez, you didn't have to kill him.
As a prisoner, he would have been a focus for violence. Now he's a martyr. It's an imperfect solution for an imperfect world.
Uh-oh, that kid got the drop on him, and Doc says, no more killing. And the kid lowers his weapon. Local cop lady says, another boy will soon take his place. It never ends. Riker says, well, maybe. The end starts with one boy putting down his gun. So everybody's happy and back up on the Enterprise.
Take us out of orbit, Mr. Crusher. At your convenience.
Where do I start? This episode came out in January of 1990, which is even before the fall of the Soviet Union, so that long ago. At the time, the UK was not thrilled about Data mentioning a unified Ireland in 2024, and the BBC censored this episode for over 15 years. Yep, that's for real. A lot of people figured this was an allegory of the struggles in Northern Ireland at the time. Now that it's actually 2024, we've experienced a whole lot more terrorism since then, and you can apply this episode to cases all over the world. So who's to blame for all this? Melinda Snodgrass strikes again. Yep, she is credited as the sole writer. Now, to be fair, she claims that her intent was to emulate the American Revolution, and she was forced to make all these weird changes. I might buy that, but she also wrote that super racist script about the Irish up the long ladder and claimed that one was supposed to be about immigration. Fool me once. Somebody has a problem with Irish people. I'm not picking on her as a person. She may be lovely, I don't know. But I hate how she composes her scripts. Michael Piller and Ronald D. Moore both want nothing to do with this one. It might be a coincidence, but this is the last episode she gets to write. Thank goodness. I cut a ton of long, boring talking scenes, typical of Snodgrass, about this is bad and that is bad and society is bad. This episode had a decent amount of action, which is probably what she was forced to add in, but that just couldn't save it. I probably would have given this episode 2 deltas out of 5, but knowing what I know, this episode's absolutely terrible, and I'm only going to give it 1. You can let me know how you feel about that. If you liked that video, please subscribe and comment if you wish. If you didn't like it, that's okay, I didn't like it either. There's more Star Trek videos and related content on my website. Check it out at kellyplanet.com. I'm Eric Kelly. Live long and prosper.